Hey guys, I'm Twelve58 here. Today I'm going to get into some data around Splinterland card assets. Which ones allow me to win most frequently and in which circumstances. I'm being surprised by some of this, so maybe you will be too. If that sounds interesting, stick around and stay tuned. If not, thank you so much. Have an amazing day. Get into it. So I pay for Splinter Coach. This is a paid for service that I personally pay for and I really enjoy. And it gives me a great deal of data around which cards I play in what circumstances and how often they win or lose. That is both helpful because it can modify what I'm doing wrong or make me double down on what I'm doing right, but also it's just fun to look at. And so we're going to look at some data, maybe look at some matches, and maybe draw some conclusions about what's working right now. Here's the problem though. As I look at the data, we have to recognize that there's complicating factors when we want to see things like Lily's Shield Paw is a great card. The data is nuts. 625 win record. And I just bought a bunch of these. Like I bought 2 or 3 max level Shield Paws for 25 bucks the other day because I long-term believe in this card. It's one of the best summoners in the game. This data has consistently been in that best summoner spot for me for months and months, as long as I've been tracking it. I go, this is my current month data. If I just look at lifetime, that's a crazy win record. Lifetime 634 over 444, a 588 win record. But I'm less interested in what has worked historically, and I'm more interested in what's working now. So it's cool to know that Shield Paw's winning, but then how is it winning and where is it winning? I can actually click on it and I can see that it's, it's playing with these cards more than any other. And I can look on specific mana caps or rule sets. I can look at lifetime or current month. All that's important. But what I don't have, and if Splinter Coach devs listening to this, guys, we need to be able to subdivide across leagues. I want to know whether I'm playing Shield Paw in Modern or Wild more, and to what extent in each. That should be, it needs to be parsed or separated or selectable, because the more filters that allow us to subdivide or dive deep into our data, the more entertaining and satisfying it's going to be. The reason I'm thinking about that is because I want to know right now, how am I winning? Yes, Shield Paw's kicking butt. Quixote is doing more poorly than historically. 33 and 43, lifetime 467 over 515, 480 win rate. That's Kelia. 542 win rate with Quixote. And so Quix is on a bit of a slump this month. But again, am I playing it in Modern and it's losing? Maybe it's losing this month. Maybe Quixote is losing this month more than it ever has in Modern. Or maybe I'm losing in Wild. I actually don't know. And I don't keep a detailed journal on the side, which would allow me to create that distinction. But this matters, man. It really matters, because if I want to understand the evolving meta and I want to do my best in the game, then I want to sort of begin to pull apart things that I can. So one conclusion I'm drawing is it's really challenging to understand the fullness of the data when I'm looking at cards that are going to be playable in both Modern and Wild. If it's just a Wild card, the data becomes more clear. The success for Kitty recently in this month, Byzantine Kitty, I've played 7 and 4. Obviously, that's entirely in the Wild. That makes the data more easy to understand. But even more than which cards work best, I'm really curious about some of the new cards and how they work best. I've been pretty excited about Riscal Drath. The Squirrel is rushing it at 652 this month. 652, 30 wins and 16 losses. That's my 6th best performing summoner of this month. We're 22 days into the month. And then we have Lorcus at number 10 with 14 and 13. I've had Lorcus for maybe I'm going to say like 10 days this month, I think is about the case. I actually could look that quickly up. So I bought Lorcus on October 14th or 13th, something like that. I've had it for about 8 to 10 days. And I didn't rent the card before. And so that's to say that Lorcus is really picking up steam and being played much more and winning at a high win price. Yes, it's only 519, not as good as that 660% win rate with Draft, but I've been playing it a lot over the last 10 days. I'm going to be interested to see where that goes. I want to know where that goes for you. I see people on X posting about different summoners, including Splinter Coach. Actually, there's Geeked Out Basketball, Splinter creator, Splinter Coach, and he does stuff like this. He goes Splinter Coach tracks your personal data, and he drops Flame Blade with Lorca 7-1. Love that. Really love that, because it procs your, I guess it's procking your Bloodlust that much sooner, right? Because you get a higher damage output from Lorcus. Maybe you drop Life Leech on Lorcus or Trample, and now you're suddenly going crazy. That's really cool. I haven't really been trying that, I don't think. And that's the thing. I want to have a conversation in this video and within the comment section of what you're seeing. Because to me, that's where the joy of data analysis comes from. It's not just from like, tightening up the numbers and getting a slightly better win record, but having the fun with friends and talking about how you're winning and what you're doing or what's really not working. And so that's why I've been looking at Splinter Coach, and I'm trying to really pull down how Lorcus is performing versus Drath. But it seems to me the Drath wins in a lot of circumstances that is absolutely necessary nowadays. But then again, it feels the same way about Lorcus. And actually look at this too. I've had Dolfor, Darflack for the same number of days, about 8 to 10 days. We're at a 7.5 win rate with that guy. That's strong, man. That's a very strong performance. Now, is it niche? Yes. It's about half the games played versus the Lorcus in the same period of time. Having said that, it's a strong win rate when it plays, and a 3 mana is absolutely functional in so many different circumstances. And so I'm really starting to believe, as I pointed to previously, that some of those summoners are being overlooked. And I don't know if the prices have risen in the last 2 weeks since I made that video, but looking at the Rebellion monsters or summoners and recognizing that if you don't want to be left behind in the Modern League, these commons were, the prices have gone up. This was 18 cents. Now it's 32. Nomos is still really cheap, but that's not a double summoner. The double Splinter summoners, in my opinion, are the steal, because they end up representing not just one Splinter, but 2. And actually not just 2, but like 2+, because recognizing that you can bring 2 under the fold in one battle is actually a big advantage. I think we've slept on these cards, these summoners, up until like maybe the last 2 weeks. But Dolfor has, I think, doubled in that time. I think it was 18 cents when I bought it, and we now are at 32. And they were all in that range. And now you got a 28 cent, a 37 cent, Zedica, etc. And so my point just being, if you want to be in the Modern for a long time, I think understanding this data is helpful. I think looking to a future forward perspective about what wins when and how you can build that future better for your Modern is going to be optimized, right, for you and for more SPS. Let's look at a couple battles. This is Lorcus today, my last win. I'm playing in Diamond League Modern, and Lorcus with the Night Stalker, so powerful. The Enrage is crazy. Watch how much damage we're getting from this. We get the melee buff. We get the Martyr, which I totally planned. With a low mana cap, you can expect a sneak play, which meant that the Martyr made sense. Also, you got the Camouflage Dr. Blight, which is getting buffed by the Lorcus as well, double buffed by the Martyr. And we got Life Leech in these 2 situations. So we're going to try and sustain our... Look at that 9 bomb. 9 bomb. I just destroyed 2 full health monsters with 1 Night Stalker blow. And if he didn't have an armor here, I guess actually he has 1 more speed than me. I was 1 hit point shy of being able to outlive that, and I would have slapped them both. But I would have just hit armor, because Kelia is a strong summoner in her own right, giving the armor to the Pelagor Bandit. But look at this, 3 against 1, and Dr. Blight, he ain't done yet. The Life Leech is working. The Afflict was there a long time ago in round 1 or 2. The poison, 2 or 3 rounds of no poison, but then it's enough. And the 4 bomb just goes ahead and deletes these little sneak monsters. Look at how close it was, but powerful upgrade from the Martyr, powerful upgrade from the Lorcus, and right down to the wire. Amazing summoner. Another play I've been enjoying, that was with an Enrage from a rule set. I can bring my own Enrage. I bring out Scargore, I think her name is, and I give myself an Enrage. And let's see how this plays out. My opponent trying a sneak play. I've got the shields in the back line. I like bringing the Rust from the Clockwork Aid in order to remove 1 or 2 armor, which makes my Night Stalker more likely to proc the Execute, which you just saw land. The kill and the Execute right there. What a powerful card. We're not just talking about, and then to bring out a redemption monster, by the way, when you bring in a Rage. So if it's Earthquake rule set, I like bringing Scargore, because Scargore can proc, I can predict that the Earthquake is going to cause damage to my non-flying monsters, and maybe I bring Night Stalker in that context. and then Night Stalker gets a melee damage buff because it gets hurt. And so you can even bring in a Lorcus to bring Life Leech to counteract the earthquake damage, but it's not gonna. You're still gonna probably stay at that higher level of damage output because the earthquake is gonna probably outdo your damage. The question isn't, can you survive 20 rounds? The question is, can you out-survive your opponent? And so I like controlling the Enrage. I wonder what my data is on Skargor. Go Skargor. So I'm 6-5 with Skargor this month, which is, again, strong performance. She's my 17th summoner, which is, I've got a lot of summoners to play with. But she's right below Byzantine Kitty. That's pretty interesting. A lot of my wins are including the Night Stalker. This was a quick devious defeat. That wasn't a very special one, no. My opponent came in pretty soft. Ooh, and when you can play, look at this play. When you can play gladiators in rank battles, which of course happens sometimes because of the rule sets, this combination is absolutely nasty. Look at this play, by the way. Sneak, up. But I got, and Dumak Orc is like such a powerful card now. It got a big upgrade when the Night Stalker came into play because this is way more vulnerable the Night Stalker is way more vulnerable when there's a Thorn Shield monster out in the rear. Plus, by the way, it's going to attract opportunity. This is such a powerful card. Such a great defensive card. Everything it has is so good. My opponent dropped the poison on me on round 1, which sucks. But we're going to be just fine. Why? Because this is one of my favorite plays. This is part of why Drath is so powerful. I've featured this before, but just again, dropping the taunt in the right spot. I actually brought it, I think I put it here. Let's see, where did we put the taunt? Yeah, we put it on the Carnage Titan. Because we don't want to come in the sneak. We don't want to waste our time with the Corpse Fiend. We don't want to go through the Thorns. Let's just attack his main damage doer, or at least his secondary damage doer. And in so doing, by the way, we're going to create, with Night Stalker, we're going to create blast damage on Whelp Herder and on Jinchwalla. Obviously, we need to go through Jinchwalla, so I like putting damage there. But additionally, the Whelp Herder damage is going to result in an execute. So yeah, it takes us time to get through Carnage Titan, but we're going to do it. And there you go. Execute. Round 1, execute. We've almost killed that very powerful double attacking shield monster, which is a big part of how he would have won if he won. By round 2, we've downed him. He only got 2 shots off. The taunt, the selective control of the taunt, and the application that it enables with the blast from the Night Stalker is so powerful. We're still quite weak, but we got enough. And with Katrelba here we go, boom, and Bloodlust. And again, dead. So there's so much fun to be had with these new summoners. I don't know if I'm necessarily bringing conclusions for you guys to take away so much as I am just really excited to look at the data. And look at this, Jotun, 7-1. I think some of those are guild brawls. I think this tracks guild brawl battles and just throws them in there with all the regular data. Because Jotun is one I've been playing mostly within the guild brawl context. By the way, the price on that one is really certain. Well, I think it's come back up again, but it fell to the floor for Jotun. Max level Jotun, $300. That used to be like a multi-$1,000 card. Kitty was $300 like a month and a half ago or something like that. Now, look at this. Max Kitty, $485. Interesting. I'm not going to spend $500 on that card today, but I certainly would love to if I could. Let's see if there's any other battles I want to show you that I've seen something fun or exciting over. Let's show the same play one more time from a different perspective. Again, Drath, selectively applying my taunt to... I ultimately want to really make sure this Titania Blade doesn't get out of control. I also don't want to run through the dry bone with my sneak plays. My sneak is going to have a bigger problem if this 9 bomb, because that's what it is after it enrages, comes slapping, returning fire back at my Night Stalker or my Tenyi. And so let's just avoid it by selectively applying a taunt. Now, we could apply the taunt here or here or here. Why are we putting it on the Corsair? First of all, Corsair has no reflection, will receive no reflection damage. If I taunt on the Titania to delete the Titania, what's going to happen is we'll remove her from the table really quickly, the first round even. And that's great, but we will do very minimal damage to the neighboring monsters. One of the key benefits of the blast damage being directed by the taunt is that you can position it in a way that it maximizes the vulnerability of your team. The Corsair is being harmed directly by the taunt being applied on the Corsair. The neighboring monsters will fall as well. Titania Blade will fall by simply blast damage and execute. And the reflection is not being helpful. The reflection shield with Corsair Boson is being eliminated or avoided or circumvented in this way. And so is the Dry Bone. And so for all those reasons, the selective application of the taunt is just such a victory condition. I don't know if we win without that. Because this guy is, the Dry Bone Barbarian is crazy. Like the 4 speed with the 6 bomb turns to a 9 with a 6 speed. The the Retaliate is a 50% proc chance. And that's a pretty solid proc chance. And so by round 2, we delete the Corsair Boson, which no way. That thing is standing till the end of time if we don't likely fire it down. Now he didn't get a Retaliate. I think we did it. We attacked him once, but he did not get his first Retaliate. But as you can see, we've already won. We've removed from the table the most concerning parts. We brought forward the Titania where it is vulnerable, and we've removed from the table the most concerning part. And it's over. So anyways, I'm having fun exploring how these things are working and under what conditions and circumstances. One last thing. Geeked Out Basketball, in addition to covering Grum earlier, also dropped this. And so I'm just going to leave with a question. I'm excited to see this sort of data, 12 and 5 on the current month. I showed you my Lorcus data. It's actually, I think, 14 and 12 or something like that. How are these summoners working for you? I don't just mean Lorcus and Drath. I want to know about all of them. What are the wins situations looking like? These cards are amazing, and I know we are overlooking some of their application. And I don't just mean the legendaries. I do mean, these we've been sleeping on them, but some of you bought them. Who's buying them, and how are you using them? And with respect to the legendaries, how are these ones working? I know everyone loves tofu. Give me a break. That's the obvious stuff. That's the tip of the iceberg. How are you applying? People, I know some of you are using Max Pruitt. I know some of you are using a Kane successfully. I know Nidogger's in a new excitement place for you because you just got them from the airdrop. How are you using them? What circumstances? Tell me in the comments. I want to know. Have an amazing day. God bless.